Hello and welcome to Flooring Models Kit Review Time. Today we've got something, as you can see down below and to the side of us, a little bit different. Now, backstory to this, and a start with an apology. Tom from ANYZ came and saw me at Telford Scale Model World. Now you might know we've got 2 trade stands there. We're incredibly busy, so I get a lot of people come up to me and say, "Hi Phil, have a look at this, can you review that," and all the rest of it. And I tend to be, it's a bit like a rabbit in the headlights at that place. It's like, yeah, no problem, we can do that. Put it off to one side. I had a good look at it when I first got back and was blown away by it, and it's sat in my review pile ever since. So big apologies to Tom. He reached out to me a couple of weeks ago about it. I've been discussing this with the guys, with the team, saying how great it was, but never actually got around to doing the review. So a little bit late, I know, probably missed the boat and all the rest of it, but hopefully it might be something that you haven't seen before. All right, so down in front of us, you can see this big plethora of stuff. We have got ANYZ's stuff. Now, to describe them in one easy word is aftermarket hyper detail. We're not just talking bits of like lead wire here and bits going in. When you see exactly what they do for finishing off models, it's more than just detailing. This is really taking it to that next level. And to be honest, at first glance, it looks at a couple of bits of resin, bits of thread, a couple of decals. It's a little bit more refined than that with this one. So as you can see, as an overall, what they actually do is they do some cotton swabs, aftermarket bits, pretty much standard as you expect. Very nice detailing ones. They're almost like micro brushes. I tend to use a lot of micro brushes because they're cheap, but it's very, very similar to that. So they do the cotton swabs. They do a pointy type, okay, and then they actually do a normal flat double-ended, as you might imagine, right the way through. They also do some resin parts, they do some decals, then they do cabling, braided cables in various sizes, all right? So just to have a bit of a look round on these ones, let me just change my camera. This is your cotton swabs you get. So it's 2 types. As you can see, it's got the flat-ended ones. So it is a little bit like using, like I use, like micro brushes. So they're in that way between being a micro brush and a cotton swab. I have had a go with one. They're very tightly woven, all the rest of it, very similar to sort of the Tamiya one. Okay, the other one they do it is the pointy version. Okay, so actually it's very nice. So I think, again, they're probably better for application work than general work, shall we say. So again, very much the detailed side of it. Then, as you can see down in here, we've actually got some universal type placard and for sort of stencil data, and as you can see, done in various sizes. So we've got 32nd, 35th, because let's face it, yeah, you tell me if you can tell the difference, okay, in your sizing, so you can get away with both. They also do them down here in 48 scale as well, all right, so just depending which one you want to do, and you've got some different versions of it. So this is the first one. So this is for your switches, to be going around for actually your switches and anything you've got down in here and things like that. So it's just general ones right the way through. They do another flavour of it, okay, and this has got some more of the gradient ones, universal type parts and things like that. Having a look down their website, they actually now do resin, or I think they're resin, but generally the dials and the knobs to go on these as well. So that's a very nice touch. But it said you've got these pretty much in black, or you can have them in white, or whichever one you want. So really that's the way it runs down. So we've got them in the black one down in here, you can have it in the white version of it, and again so forth and so on with those ones, all right. Then obviously over here we've got what I think is the pied de resistance. So we've got down in here nuts, bolts with the washer heads on there. And if we whip this one out of its packaging, hopefully you can see. So they are on little legs sticking up and they're off. I assume these are 3D printed. I don't know. Is that 3D printed or cast? No, I'm going to go with 3D printed, looks like to me. But as you can see, very, very nice way of doing it. So you would cut this off roughly, and then obviously you can just trim it, sand it, and then stick it on. But you might notice on this side, they are getting smaller. So you've got the big ones over here, and they are getting finer down in there. So they look like little tiny mushrooms sat in there. But as you can see, those heads, very, very small. So let's face it, we're all guilty. Oversand it, you take the head of the bolt off. Pretty pain to get them back. Having those kicking around means you can just pop them in. And again, I've just brushed past it, literally, and I've knocked them off. So this gives you an idea of the size of these things are absolutely, I tell you what, I'm going to wet my finger and do this so they don't blow away. But this gives you an idea of the size of this. These things are incredibly small. Okay, so look, I've just sneezed and blown a load of them around. So that gives you an idea of how fine this detail. Now you get my bit about hyper detailing. Okay, so that's your heads like that. The other one as well, we've got some connectors. So again, looking at these, various sizes in one. Okay, and you've got 3D printed connectors. Don't make me mind out. Is this 3D printed or cast? If it's cast, it's incredibly well done. But if it's 3D printed, that's incredibly fine. I'm not sure which they are, to be honest. But let's face it, it works at the end of the day. Beautifully done. Very, very nice indeed. We've got some of these as well for spark plugs. And again, literally off the chart detail. Incredible detail in this. Alright, so that's your spark plugs. We've also got different scales, so we've got them in 24 scale, and we have that other one which is in 32nd scale. Okay, so that's your plugs. So you've got some slightly bigger ones just down in there. We've also got some T-type connectors and straight connectors as well, just down in this as well, and as you can see, they are in there. So you've got your spark plug and all the rest of it. So the next thing you're going to need is some wiring. And this is where this comes in. And to be honest with you, over here I've just got some, and he has sent me the entire range. So down in here we've got braided cable, which is basically very tightly woven thread. 2 meters of it, of 0.8 millimeters. Okay, so this is in black, and then you've got it in all the colors, and you can probably see them down in here. So we've got silver, we've got white, we've got red, we've got like your greeny color, we've got your blues, we've got your yellows, we've got blacks, and obviously they also do a dark green as well, and some other types of colors as well. So you've got that in basically 0.8 mil, but also over here, we've got down in here, they also do it in a 0.5, exactly the same colour call-outs right the way through. And again, they do that entire range just down like this as well. Okay, so again, coming off of your line and for engine work and all those types of things as well, or any type of like hosing and cabling, you've got all of those covered. So between all of that, you've got yourself pretty much everything you could ever need, just like those. Okay, next up, which is took my eye immediately, like these one, braided cord, 0.3, so it's incredibly small. So we've got steel right down in these ones, and we've got a 0.4, and we've actually got a 0.5 as well, and we assume they do them in black and gold versions as well. It's just that I haven't got those. Okay, but that's those ones as well. So again, this isn't fixed. You could bend this and shape it, but it's not going to be like lead. It's going to hold its own weight. But this gives you obviously beautiful stuff for brake lines, but also for cabling on motorbikes and with cars and all of that stuff right the way through. And again, we've got more of it over here in different scales and various things going on with all of this one as well. So you're pretty much covered for all your detail parts on this one as you make our way through. So basically, if you pop over to their website, which is ANYZ.io, okay, you can have a look at some more details, and you can see some beautiful photos down in here and all of their latest with all the parts. You can buy direct off their website as well. So just literally click down in the cart, follow the cart through. This is their new one that's just come out. I haven't actually got that one, but I did see it down in here, which is for the knobs and dials and stuff like that. So again, hyper detail, some really nice pictures down in here right the way through, as you can see, down onto this one. And this is that cabling, and you got the full color set down one in there and all the parts. And again, down in here, some beautiful work showing off. And again, a little bit of a highlight, the engine. You can see this is that cabling work going down into the plugs and all the areas coming off, just showing you how nice that is. I do believe that's the Hellcat engine. Okay, beautiful work. And again, showing the lines down actually in the wheels and how they would go. Again, it just works perfectly in the scale with it. So as you can see, and some beautiful work down in there in the cockpit with the switches and the various items in there as well. And there you have it. Again, this is one of those ones where it's literally taking it to the next level. And I know that used to be my company name as well, taking your modelling to the next level, but I'll let him have this one because it really is absolutely blown away by the minutest of detail in this one. And again, it's nice to see that you've got that entire package. You've actually got the plugs, you've got the cabling, you've got the braided stuff, all the steel stuff, you've got the decals to go along with it, so it is that natural progression to go up. So again, think of your scratch building work down in this one, or maybe you just want to start again on a cockpit area, take all the details out, and then obviously use all the aftermarket ones in. But I can see plumbing and their various details down on this is an absolute gorgeous thing, especially in engines, and then obviously on brake lines, but generally all hydraulic systems on aircraft, any with vehicles, with armor, anything else you want to do, you've got all these details down in there. So a big thank you for Tom. Apologies it's a little bit late, but we got there eventually. But I absolutely love this stuff. So go off, see Tom, you can buy it all direct off of their site, and it has to be an absolute must.